Alright, I started, I've got a new stand, thread stand. I changed the pulley on the motor, you can see that. Put a smaller pulley down there so it goes a little slower. And I also purchased a zigzag foot that I can do an actual 12 millimeter zigzag on this. So let's get started. First thing on fabric is the selvage edge. Is right here, if you can see that. The first thing I want to do is, since these are loose threads and a lot of people fail to do that, I'm going to turn on the motor and we're going to do some and these are going to be locked. We're going to put a little tail on there and those will be should be locked fairly decent, and we just simply clip that off. The first one is going to be just a standard plain seam, just a standard plain seam. We're just going to fold them over, lift it up, keep about a ½ inch, and we want to do a what we call a tacking stitch, and I set my dial to 0 for stretch, and we do a few stitches. Then I can go ahead and do a straight stitch, and then of course we reverse to lock in anything that's lock in our stitches, and that's our tacking, plain seam tacking and tacking, straight stitch, and our locking stitch, and we can simply cut those off. And the sweet thing about doing it this way is that I only have to do that to get that cleaned up, and that's our standard plain seam. And if you turned it inside out, you just simply have that. So we went over the tacking the end of the seam. We're going to go into the flat felled seam, which is a little bit more difficult because it requires two different things. And if we do it this way, our flat felled seam, we simply fold it this way and make sure we get our seam creased, and then we also want to do it, tuck it in there, and we want to fold this over simple like that. Now we have a decent seam, and we'll do our tack. Do a couple of few stitches there, and we simply want to go down the edge and keep it even, about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, like so, and then we can reverse it. there's our flat felled seam, and that would be for an inner part of a leg or something like that. I want to talk a second about overcasting. Overcasting would be stitching from here to there and making sure that our right side of our needle, or left side, however you're looking at it, is over here, and then the other is over here. Usually we want to shorten up our stitches on this, and we want to set our zigzag so it's maximum. And I have a 12 millimeter stitch on this, and I want to see where I end up on this. So it's going to be right about there, and we'll try that. 3 stitches, 3 millimeter. We simply just want to go right along that edge, and I'll try to slow it up. We want to hit that edge right there, and then when it goes through, we want to be over there, so we'll be overcasting. And then if you want to reverse, and then that would be overcasting. Our French felled seam is a little bit different. A French seam, we simply make our seam, and then we our 2 seams, and then we simply put them on top of each other. Simply like that. Make sure they... Now we can do a basting seam here. I'm not going to set everything back to 0. I'm going to do a couple of tack stitches right there. We'll do 5 millimeter straight stitch. Make sure those are in there like that. And that's going to be our French seam. Just they're both folded over and laid on top of each other. And that would be your French seam. Machine basting is something a little bit different, and I'm just going to use paper for this. Basting, if I take a piece of paper and let's say I'm folding it and I want to make a seam right here, simply I want to get rid of any, I want both my ends when I start loose. I'm going to and I want to hold this If I can grab onto it. Hold on to that one and hold on to that one. And we're just going to make a straight stitch. About 5 millimeter. And we're just going to go down and do that. And that's it. We'll cut this off like that. Now, when I have machine basting and I do my straight stitch, all I should have to do is pull on this bottom lock stitch and it will come loose like that. Then all I have to do is pull that, and that's all basting is. It's simple as that. So hopefully that helps, and I'll talk to you later.